I told myself I was going to trust my gut. And then the moments when I didn't, so I used to be like a master tenant in a household, right? I would rent rooms to other people. And so when I'd have somebody come, apply for a room or something, there were moments when I was like, I don't know.
Clarity is so huge. I mean, if you just think about it, driving a car or going anywhere, if you put a blindfold on, you have to really slow down to see, to hear, right? I mean, that's what I always say. If we lose one of our abilities, the other ones get accentuated, and that's part of the mind and taking care of us, or survival, however you want to define that. But if you're in a car and there's fog all around you, you can only see so far, and
Right.
you can only get excited about so much, just obviously being careful at that point, because it's just really cloudy and you can't see. And then as that clears and you can see ahead, you can start to map out farther. You can start having more confidence. So all the things that you're describing, I'm curious if we have it, I keep going back to these pinpoints, but I'm looking at, if someone's out there listening and they have these aspirations and dreams as you had, and then they're in this, whatever you want to call it, a rut, or, it's not happening the way they want, but they keep trying, what was the moment that helped you? Or if it is a series of moments, okay. But if someone is in that, what's that first step that you took? I guess, I mean, well, this goes through my head, so I'm just going to say it out loud. You were at an event,
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, so I guess what I feel, and I don't know this, so I want you to say in your words.
Yeah.
But I know you were showing up for stuff. So I guess that was the choice that you were making. Like, I better go learn something. I'm going to find. So you were obviously seeking knowledge. Otherwise you wouldn't have shown up in my world.
Yeah. I was really seeking guidance because, as I said, I'd done several other kinds of things. I was looking for the path out of the closed room, that I had kind of locked myself into. I was looking for my way out, not out from what I was doing, but the way that I was doing it, because it wasn't achieving what I wanted it to achieve. I wanted more freedom. I wanted more balance. I wanted more income, and I wasn't finding that without help. So it's like, I think I was at a point where I recognized I needed help. And so I was looking for that. And then when I recognized that it was here, like at the event with you, I was just really, it was very clear to me that we were in alignment and that you had guidance that would really be helpful to me. And so it was making that decision. And that was, that was probably the biggest turning point, just taking action on that. And it was scary. Honestly, it was scary because I wasn't, you don't have guarantees, right? I mean, we don't really know for certain anytime we take some action if it's going to pan out the way we hope it will. But my gut was saying yes, and I trusted that. And
did you always trust your gut like that?
No, not always. But I have had a consistent pattern of when I don't, I usually regret it,
So that's what helped you in this moment in your life, because you had previous experiences that your gut was screaming like, go for it. And then you chose not to. And then this time you said, okay, I'm going to listen to it.
Yeah. I think there have been more. Yeah. I think the experiences that are coming to mind where I was like, I told myself I was going to trust my gut. And then the moments when I didn't, so I used to be like a master tenant in a household, right? I would rent rooms to other people. And so when I'd have somebody come, apply for a room or something, there were moments when I was like, I don't know. I just, my gut was saying, no, 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 no. And my mind was saying, yeah, but I got to fill this room, and so fear, right? And then I would say yes. And then, oh man, it'd be so bad every time. It was so consistent. And in many ways, I just like appreciate that I'm grateful that I had those experiences, because a, a whole series of those really helped me get better at trusting my gut. And so,
what like a school of gut trusting?
yeah, exactly.
having that job as a master tenant, it's like the silly little jobs that I've had in my life that made an impact, because that's like was not your core business. It was something you were doing, and then it's not like you just had this dream of being a property manager, and then so there you are doing this thing, and then look at the lesson that was so profound.
Yeah.
Right now, because here we're talking about one of the biggest shifts in your life, and it was trusting your gut, because it was scary, it was uncertain, like everything in life. I mean, when do we ever have certainty for tomorrow?
Yeah, we don't. We think
Never.
we do, but we don't.
Yeah, I mean, right now we're in a time where people are saying everything's so uncertain, and I was talking with one of my other friends, Tyler Rivenbark, and we were talking about how when do you ever have certainty?
Yeah.
So but that comes back to this we can tend to lean a little bit on that. I definitely am with you, and I can picture moments right now. There's one time when our flight got canceled, this whole ordeal, and then we're already at the airport. And so then this inside of me, the consciousness were like, you're already at the airport, get a new flight. And then I'm like working, and it was really hard. And it was like all of these extra time trying to find the right flight. And my gut was saying, leave the airport. And I could have got a hotel room for one more night where we were, and then just came. And we had found really quickly, really easily, my wife had found a flight for in the morning. And I was like, no, we're already here. We're like, it's like that whole thing. The part of me was being like, it's a pain in the ass, like getting to the airport and all that. But you know what? It was a bigger pain in the butt to deal with what we dealt with. And then we didn't even get home. We ended up having to go through Chicago, and then something happened with that flight. And then we had to get another hotel room in Chicago. And I wasn't even trying to go home. I forgot. We were on this trip, and then I was going to a speaking gig in Denver. And then I was even late getting in because of the choice I made. If I would have left, and my wife gladly pointed this out, if we would have went to the hotel and took the flight in the morning, we would have made it to Denver, no problem, on time. It was like, and I can reflect on that. And this was a more recent one. This is a couple of years ago. I was like, okay, this has to be one of the last times I'm going to allow this to happen. It was like a big sting. It sucked. It was like, because we were traveling with very little amount of sleep for like 36 hours.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even over the water. I was in Canada trying to make it to Denver, and it was like, shouldn't be that hard. So I 100% understand what you mean. So that was so you had all these lessons, so that when a big moment came, you were able to ride on that experience.
Yeah. I think, so often we're kind of trained out of trusting our gut. We have, or it's even that our brain just like, our mind is like, oh, I mean, I think that what kept coming up for me in those moments when I wouldn't trust my gut was that little saying of, don't judge a book by its cover. I'm judging this person.
Right.
It's like, well, no, actually, what my gut was telling me was not that they were a bad person or a wrong person. They just weren't a good fit for me. And that's the piece I just didn't understand. I thought that if I didn't say like yes to everybody, that somehow I was like doing this judging thing.
Right.
When my gut was just trying to give me some good guidance on what was a good fit.
Hey there, I want to give you something really big. It's called Clear Path to Customers. It's the way that we get the right language to get the right client. I like to call them your wow clients, so that you can have more results, more revenue, more raving fans, and more referrals. And I want to give this to you absolutely free. And all you have to do is go to stevenapolitan.com to check it out, or you can look at the description here. We'll put the details there. As always, remember, choose gratitude and create freedom.